We're sitting with activist Safoora Zargar, who is alongside with Shifa-ur-Rahman's wife, campaigning and helping people understand why it is important for the people of Okhla constituency to vote for Shifa-ur-Rahman. What are the issues that affect the Muslim community in the area, and how the politics go beyond the mere politics of roads and sewers. वेलकम सफूरा। ओखला कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी की बात करी जाए तो अभी आप क्या देख रही हैं, क्या मुद्दे हैं जो आप ग्राउंड पे जाके दिख रहे हैं?
देखिए, मुद्दे तो डेफिनेटली, मैं खुद यहीं पे रहती हूँ, गफ्फार मंजिल में रहती हूँ। मुद्दे डेफिनेटली हैं, सड़कों में गड्ढे हैं, पानी का इशू है, TDS पानी का इतना ज़्यादा हाई है, आपकी मतलब सब चीज़ ख़राब हो जाती है। बट मतलब ये मुद्दे तो बहुत बेसिक मुद्दे हैं। हम जिन मुद्दों की बात कर रहे हैं वो बात कर रहे हैं सिविल डेमोक्रेटिक राइट्स की। हम ये कहते हैं कि ठीक है, ये मुद्दे बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट हैं, बट क्या हमें उन लोगों की, वैसे लीडर्स की ज़रूरत नहीं है जो इन मुद्दों को तो ध्यान दे ही दें? बिकॉज यही तो आपका काम है, ये तो आपका काम है, ये तो बेसिक है, इसके लिए आपको फंड मिलता है बाकायदा काम करने के लिए। लेकिन जो सिविल डेमोक्रेटिक राइट्स की बात करें, ऐसे लीडर्स को हमें क्यों ना हम उनको अपना सपोर्ट दें, ये हम लोग मतलब थ्रू दिस इलेक्शन ये सवाल हम जनता के बीच में बेसिकली खड़ा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और ये बहुत अहम सवाल है मुस्लिम समुदाय के लिए।
There are statements being given that the AIMM candidacy, like Shifa-ur-Rahman, his standing on behalf of AIMM will cut the votes in the constituency. What do you have to say about that?
See, I believe that this narrative has been peddled by the fascist forces, the anti-minority, anti-Muslim forces, who cannot see any kind of leadership coming from the minority communities or the marginal communities, or even, for example, the Dalit Bahujan community. So whenever they see a strong leader from the marginal communities, this is the sort of narrative that they peddle. And it is not like ki, even if we are standing from any mainstream party in the Lok Sabha election, we have seen that number of times they've made this issue that we are going to cut the votes. I want to ask the people and raise this very important question. Okay, do you think people like Shifa-ur-Rahman, people like Umar Khalid, people like Gulfisha Fatima, people like me, who, हम लोग since 5 years we are struggling. Some of us, Umar Khalid, Gulfisha Fatima, Shirjil Imam, we are still behind bars, we are struggling. Do you think we are vote cutters? We were on the road. We didn't visit our houses for 3 months. There was, sometimes we didn't know whether we are having food, we're drinking water, it's so cold, we're wearing jackets or not. The only thing in our mind was that this law, the CAA and the NRC is dreadful for this country. It will lead to immense loss for this nation and for the community as well. We felt threatened, our existence was threatened. We spent so much time on the roads protesting, and then we have spent so much time in courts, taking forward this struggle and resistance. Do you think we are vote cutters? This is my question. What I also want to emphasize is that we definitely need a leadership from within the community, which is beyond गड्ढे भरवा देना, और बिजली फ्री कर देना, या ये कर देना, वो कर देना. We talks about our issues, the Muslim community's issues, which stands on the front line when some poor person's house is being illegally demolished, by the government, or somebody is being targeted for speaking out against the government, which is their basic democratic right. We need people to lead from the front lines.
Then what about the concerns that probably locals have, that okay, if for example they do vote for Shifa-ur-Rahman,
Right.
or IMM comes here, then they will be abandoned in a way that the government or the policies or those in power will not look at the constituencies.
See, I believe that candidate is very important, right? When we look at Shifa-ur-Rahman, who is Shifa-ur-Rahman? I think by now the entire Okhla constituency knows who is Shifa-ur-Rahman. Everybody knows Shifa-ur-Rahman's house, is open for everybody, whether it is a student who is seeking, who's seeking to stay for a few days, somebody who's looking for, um help in admission fees and all of that. He's always, been helping, and it's not something which has happened only during CAA movement. It has happened much beyond that. When we look at the nature of the candidate, when we have a past experience with the candidate, I don't think such questions, in fact, even should come, because uh, as I said, we know the nature of the candidate. We know this candidate was on the roads. He has stood up for the community. He's stood up for democracy. He's spoken, to protect the constitutional and democratic rights of the community. And I never think he's going to ever let any such thing of abandonment happen at all.
In terms of political party, that
Right.
there is a sense that EIM is coming or fighting elections for the first time. So the elections work as party is seen as the major face, right? So
Right.
how do you see, like, if this party comes into power in these two constituencies, is it going to impact the decision making at the major party that's going to come in Delhi?
See, one thing is very clear that they AIMIM has fielded two candidates. Both of them are political prisoners, right? One is from Muzaffarabad, one is from Okhla. Now, on all other seats, who is fighting? Congress is fighting, AAP is fighting, and BJP is fighting. I mean, itna to this much I can say for granted with full confidence that there is no way that meme is going to support BJP to form government in Delhi. That is not going to happen. So I just want to understand in the larger arithmetic of the the election mathematics, how is meme impacting negatively, how is negatively them fielding candidates from these two constituency is impacting the larger Delhi election. I have no clue about that. I don't understand how it is impacting, because ultimately if Congress will win, Meme is going to support Congress. If the AAP will win, they will support Congress they will support AAP in, of course, in forming the government, because we do understand that ultimately we are fighting a bigger monster, which is the monster of fascism. Right. So till that we are very much united, and that is very clear.
After Delhi violence, after there was this massive anger towards AAP that we saw from the Muslim community, and then there were conversations of, okay, if we talk about a major party, then there is only one party, that's Congress. As you said, nobody's going to vote for BJP when it comes to minorities in that sense.
Right.
So how is MIM thinking of, like, what are their strategies when it comes to that?
See, last time when election happened in Delhi, it was during the anti-CAA movement. And when we were sitting on the dharna, we were told that, the people of Okhla were told, you give us vote, we will declare our support for the movement, for the equal citizenship rights movement. We are not coming out right now because, the BJP will use that to polarize the election. And I'm saying it very upfront on the camera. This was the narrative that was pulled in Okhla. But 5 years on, it has been a major disappointment. So what I want to emphasize on is that you cannot take our vote for granted. Why should you take our vote for granted? That even if you make promises and you're not going to fulfill them, I'm sorry, we are going to push you out. And you cannot constantly strive, feed like vultures on this fear of BJP coming. BJP is going to come, BJP is going to come. I think Muslim politics needs to change. It needs to transform. It cannot always be a politics of fear. It cannot always be a politics of reaction. That, this person is saying that, oh my God, if you vote for somebody other than us, then BJP is going to come to power. In all of this, when do we have time to build our own leadership? I mean, that is the most important question. Are we just like a vote bank for them? And do we always want to remain like a vote bank for them? That is my question. With respect to Congress, we definitely feel that the Congress party is the only party that can challenge the BJP and that can help restore democracy in this nation. We do have that much of, we are currently, based on the promises made by Rahul Gandhi, we are putting our faith into that. But what I want to understand is that this election is not about that. This election is about telling people that you cannot have one foot in the BJP and one foot in the Congress and we will not support you. I'm sorry. You cannot be like that. You can either be against fascism or you can be with the fascists. So this is a very important message that the people of Okhla, and I feel, see, this is a constituency where we have a large number of, as we know, through the Sachar committee report, that the number of, we have the education levels among Muslims are very low, right? But in this constituency, we have educated Muslims, So, I mean, it is very important. People are looking towards the educated Muslims as well and seeing, bhai, where are you going? And I also want to add to this, saying that, I don't think 5 years back anybody imagined that, there would be a movement like the Shaheen Bagh movement in which women will come out in such large numbers and take the fight to protect the constitution and the community upon their shoulders, So that was like a turning point, and that was a very strong message, not just throughout India, but I feel throughout the world. And I feel that another strong message from Okhla should go, that we will support leaders who will stand with us, not leaders whose loyalties basically lie elsewhere. Our loyalties must lie with the nation, with the constitution, with the community, with the people of Okhla. So, yeah.
How, because Shifa-ur-Rahman is the president of the Alumni Association, has been part of Jamia for years. Are the students of Jamia, how are they seeing this him standing for candidacy? Is he getting that support from the university students especially?
See, I feel that Shifa-ur-Rahman, when in 2018, the Alumni Association of Jamia Millia Islamia was founded and established, and the first elections happened, and Shifa-ur-Rahman was elected as its president. I feel that he has played a key role in connecting the alumni with the current students and also connecting the Jamia students, Jamia alumni with the local population, So, through Shifa-ur-Rahman and through the work of Ajmi, I mean, a lot of, a strong relationship has been built between the students and the local community. And of course, that relationship is also in the field of politics. University is an intellectual space, right? And I feel that in all of those intellectual discussions, all of those concerns about the larger concerns about the Muslim politics, about, the Indian Muslims politics and internationally, whatever it is, has come to the local area as well. You will see people, students, alumni and local people together talking on tea stalls about, these very important political questions. So I think that this time when I look at this election, I definitely see that more than the past election, during this time, the students, because somebody they know and align with and who they recognize as their leader and supporter and helpful and as somebody who's helped them is standing. So I think they truly connect with that. And I'm seeing a lot of support from the students as well. I mean, the other day I was coming and I saw some students distributing, parchas for Shifa-ur-Rahman, outside the gate. So all of these things, it's all organically happening, and I think it's a great thing.
What made you join the campaign?
See, I've been out since the last 4.5 years, and I don't know how to say this, but the main purpose of my life has become to keep advocating for the release of all of my co-accused. I mean, of course, in this time I've learned a lot about political prisoners, about laws like the UAPA. I mean, I was an activist, we were well aware, but still to actually be a victim of it, experience it yourself, and then be in that space and know others who are also going through it. So it has had a big impact on my mind. And I feel that, Shifa-ur-Rahman's incarceration or Umar Khalid's incarceration and Gulfisha's incarceration, it's not coincidental. It is a conspiracy, I would say, by the government, by the fascist forces to suppress development of leadership, good leadership, educated Muslim leadership from within the community, youth leadership. And I feel that, this has to be fought on all levels. And of course, we are fighting it legally very much. And I'm advocating wherever I go, I do that. But I think it is time that the anti-CAA movement, I've always said, it has changed its course. It has transitioned from the movement of the dharnas, or from the roads to the courtrooms. And now I feel it's the right time to channelize this movement and take it to the parliament, which is our right. So that right, we as a community, as the largest minority in this country, need to unapologetically exercise. That is why I'm here. I'm with the movement.
Okay.